backwards he says, neck, I hit hard.
Neck, I hit hard.
No?
Neck, I hit hard.
So what happens? The reporter says, did you murder your wife? He says, no. But at the same time, he flashes back to the crime scene in his mind and he remembers. He hit her hard in the back of the neck. And I think he decapitated her. Where the head is, I have no idea, but the body was washed up headless. So, classic example. Do it.
Murder your wife? No. Hit hard.
That was neck, I hit hard.
Neck, I hit hard.
And again.
Neck, I hit hard.
And if you want to be really controversial, here is a reversal on Patsy Ramsey, mother of John Benet. Here is, and she's saying she feels there's at least 2 people out there who know who committed this crime.
We feel like there are at least 2 people on the face of this earth that know who did this. And that is the killer and someone that person may have confided in.
And backwards she says, I'm that person.
I'm that person.
I'm that person.
Pretty scary stuff.
I'm that person.
Yes. Everyone's a bit speechless on that one. Yes.
What about OJ?
Oh, OJ. Oh, you can't get much cuter than OJ. Let me see if I've got it.
About Lindy Chamberlain.
Huh? Lindy Chamberlain in Innocent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I did reversal on her back in '88.
Really?
Here's O.J. Simpson on his police interview tape.
I come home leisurely, got ready to go. On the little we were not.
Here he says, I killed them high.
Well,
Hear that? Is it, or is that too? Can you hear that one?
Yeah.
And I've got another one on OJ too. And actually, I've got quite a few. If you go to my website, there is a whole page on O.J. Simpson. And matter of fact, you should all go visit my website, reversespeech.com, www.reversespeech.com. It's got over 6,000 examples of reversals on there that you can listen to. There's hundreds of articles and newspaper clippings and art stories, and you can spend days on my website. So here's O.J. Simpson. This is a really ironic thing. He says forwards, hang on, the forwards is talking about the dangers of being tape recorded. So really ironic.
Put a tape recorder on. The next time you have an argument and play it back, you will not believe that was you.
And there he says, I skinned them all.
Not skinned them all. Not skinned them all.
You hear that?
Not skinned them all.
And there we go. That's O.J. Simpson. All right, we're going to look at a couple on George Bush. Just to make it all funny. Here's have you all heard rumours about George Bush's alleged temper? And anyway, here he's talking about the United States Congress. Ooh. He doesn't normally talk that fast. Let me find it again. There's the one I'm looking for. No, it's got disappeared. Oh, anyway, here's another one. This is George Bush just before he went into Iraq, and I knew from this he was going to move in.
Will help that nation to build a just government after decades of brutal dictatorship. The form and leadership of that government is for the Iraqi people to choose.
And backwards he says, we will sit in Baghdad.
Radio sit in Baghdad.
Radio sit in Baghdad.
You hear that there?
Radio sit in Baghdad.
Quite clear, quite apparent. I heard that 2 weeks before he went into Iraq, and I gave a lecture in Melbourne, and I remember playing that reversal and saying, you just watch the news. He's based on that reversal, he's going to move his troops into Iraq over next week, and I was pretty well spot on. And Yes.
I'm trying to, can you do something for him to see if he's going to go involved in Iran?
In Iran, look, I've been looking at him for Iran. I haven't found anything that he's going in there yet. I may just not have done the right tape, but I would be very surprised if you didn't hear. Here's one on George Bush when he first got into power. This is actually after 9/11.
And after the war was declared on the United States of America,
And here he says, "Rule the planet, Dad." And I just think, you know, he's with the two Bushes together. They're trying to get the influence expanded. So, what else have I got on George Bush here? I've got so many of them. Oh, here's one no, they've all disappeared. All right, okay. Here's another one on. This is the one I wanted to play earlier. All right, let's try that. He's talking about the Congress.
Your time, you get all this done. You look forward to working with the members of Congress to get it done. I'll answer a couple of questions regarding the Form A of the AP.
And here he says, "Choke the fuckers now."
Choke the fuckers now. Choke the fuckers now. Choke the fuckers now.
Speaks for itself. All right, look, I've got about 10 minutes left. I want to quickly go into the metaphorical aspect of reverse speech. All the examples I've played so far are straightforward English-sounding examples, but reverse speech is very much a metaphoric language. Over 90%, sorry, not 90%, over 50% of all the reversals I find in reverse speech speak in metaphor, using words like wolf, Lancelot, goddess, garden of Eden, very similar archetypal images to the works of Carl Jung. Is anyone familiar with Carl Jung? Very similar type of reversals. Now here we have a client who I'm talking to who is suffering from low motivation. He's just had a nervous breakdown. Here are his thoughts.
You struck me as a very enthusiastic guy. I mean, certainly the time we've been together and you've got all full of ideas. Is this latest, is this just a latest idea? Is it just all froth and bubble, or do you really want to get out?
And here we have a reversal that says, "See the wolf fallen in the lake."
See the wolf fallen in the lake.
See the wolf fallen in the lake.
So what does that mean? See the wolf fall in the lake. Well, when I first started doing reverse speech, I was finding all of these type of reversals. The wolf has fallen in the lake. Eve is sick in the garden. Lancelot is riding his horse. And at first I had no idea what all these archetypal images meant. But one of the things about reverse speech is complementary. By complementary, I mean the forward and the reverse relate to each other. You notice all the examples I've played so far have direct contextual relationship. So using this contextual relationship, I was able to go back over a lot of my transcripts and work out what these metaphors meant. And the wolf in reverse is a common metaphor. It means to be motivated, to be driven forwards. Okay. Lake is a metaphor for emotion. Water is emotions. Lake. So with the wolf fallen in the lake, this person is drowning in a sea of emotion and he can't pull himself out to motivate it. Now this is where the real crowning glory of reverse speech comes in, and this is where I am really hoping that hypnotherapists in America will pick this up. I've developed a very specific hypnotic technique for working with reverse speech metaphors. My theory is that at the base level of consciousness, the human mind thinks in picture or metaphor. By changing these, once you know what these metaphoric images are, you can change the metaphors and hence change the behaviour. So my client whose wolf's fallen in the lake, I will put him in a hypnotic trance. I'm accessing a different part of the mind than regular hypnosis uses. I've built into my trance inductions, we are accessing the part of the mind where metaphors are formed, where personality and behaviour begins.